Hello everybody and welcome back to my home here in East Tennessee. It's November. I can't believe it's already November. And I thought I would do an indoor grow spaces tour. I've got a few phals in here. I've got a lot of Tolumnias in here, as you all know. And I also have a temporary grow space that I've set up for some new purchases. Yes, you heard me. I needed a few more orchids before the cold set in. So I thought I'd go ahead and start with this beautiful one. This is my Phal Suchang Sapphire Peloric, and I've had this one for a year now. Bought it last November from Hauserman's, and it has been in bloom the whole time. Can't say enough good about this one. It's just a prolific bloomer. It has a slight fragrance. Look at the beauty of this. It's just gorgeous. And it stays in bloom. It's just been blooming and blooming and blooming. So you can't hardly argue with something that just blooms and is happy blooming. It's got 17 leaves. This is a very, very strong plant. Just love this one. So pretty. So many of you have commented on this plant, and I highly recommend this little miniature Phalaenopsis. And this is one I keep forgetting to show you. My husband bought me this for my birthday a few months ago. This is Phal equestris, and he got this one from the Mystery Garden store. And as you see, it's a sequential bloomer. It still has some buds. Look at all the flowers I've had over the past 2 months. It came in spike, and it's just gorgeous. Again, it's slightly fragrant. I love the lip of this plant. It's absolutely stunning. And this is a very healthy little plant. Look at this. It's perfect. So yeah, I have another one in my sunroom. It's not spiking yet. It's a young plant. And my husband knew I wanted to see some bloom, so he got this for me for my birthday. That is a really, really good birthday present. And now for the Tolumnias. Wow, as you see, I have a lot of spikes right now. I'm wondering if maybe the cooler weather does tell them to spike. They can spike at any time, but it seems to me like the cooler weather says, yes, you need to spike. Look at this one. Oh, that is just such a pretty bloom. So let me go through them. This one is Gyric Fern Pink Lady. It's the second time it's bloomed for me. This first bloom, woo, it's got a lot of pink. The first time this bloomed for me, the blooms were almost white. There was very little pink, and now the pink is starting to show in these blooms. Okay, and next up is Gyric Flyer Red Spread. Okay, this one has 2 spikes. This is spike 1. Now look at the pretty red of this one. And this is a more of an orangey red on this spike. Gorgeous, gorgeous blooms. Look at the frilly bloom on that. That is so pretty. When people come in my house and they see these, they're like, what is that? Okay, here is my Gyric Firm Fine Point. Okay, this is the one that is supposed to be peach and beige. I so prefer this color pattern. I love this color pattern, as a matter of fact. I'm so curious to see if it holds this same color pattern the next time it blooms. But this purple and pink up against that white background, oh goodness. That is gorgeous. Okay, and for the third time in 2 years, this is my Gyric Flyer Cardinal Bird. Very, very strong plant. The third spike. I would have had another one, but it developed a spike that just curled in on itself, never did develop. So I'm glad that it spiked again though, because I love these blooms. And here's another grouping of my Tolumnias. I just kind of put them different places to see where they do best. And to be honest with you, everywhere that I put them, they just seem to be happy as long as they're in the house and at room temperature. I tried them out in the sunroom last summer, and it just got too hot for them, and they did not like that. So I keep them between 70 to 80 degrees, and they're happy. This one here is spiking, and this one is Gyric Firm Yellow. Wow, long spike. Yes, it's going to be blooming soon. This is the second time that plant has bloomed for me. And I moved this shelf that used to be in the eastern facing window in the front of my house. I moved it over here. As you see, I've got these fungus gnat sticky traps. I don't know why, but the fungus gnats love this window. But I normally have this window shaded, but I wanted you all to see everything. I figured out that with the western exposure and the LED lights, it was getting to be too much for a few of them. They were starting to turn brown. Once they start freckling too much or turning brown, you need to turn back the light. Actually, just a few of them did that though. So I thought, well, let's just go ahead and decrease the amount of light, and I just shade this window through the afternoon. Okay, so there is a spike here on my, let's see, my Gyric Firm Barbie. That's the second bloom. Can't wait to see this one in bloom this time, because she had some gorgeous blooms the last time. As you see, everything's looking really good except for this little guy right here. Just, honestly, he's never done what I would call, he's never grown right. As you see, he is recycling his larger growth for this smaller growth. So I can't figure out if he was just weak to begin with. I remember this one didn't have many roots when I got it. And it was just kind of different. I don't know how to explain it. It just looked differently than the others. So maybe he just wasn't a very strong individual plant. So I'm pulling for him though. He's on a wick. He does not like to dry out at all. So I'm hoping he pulls through. And here's the bottom shelf. And most of these have bloomed. I kind of have an idea of a percentage of how many of mine have bloomed. This one has bloomed for me before as well. So some of these are very large plants. Like, look at this one. And this one is Big Bang. And yes, when it blooms, it's just going to be spectacular. So let's go back and look at some blooms while I give you all some statistics of these. I have 25 of them right now in my collection, 25 Tolumnias. The number that have bloomed, 17. A few of them are struggling. 2 of them are just struggling. When I got them, they didn't really have healthy root systems. And oh my goodness, when they don't have healthy root systems, they really do struggle. But the vast majority of them, all the other ones, have just really done well. The others that haven't bloomed, they're huge. They're huge. When they do bloom, they're going to just be really beautiful plants. And some of you have asked me how I water these. I have 3 of them on wicks that are very, very small. I don't want to have to water them, like 2 or 3 times a week. That is a lot. One of them I was having to water every 2 or 3 days, and I thought, no, let's just put this one on a wick. Some of them I bottom water, like this one I do, because there's not enough room to get the water. See, you don't want these little leaves right in here, they will rot, and that can set up fungal infections and things like this. So the ones that I don't have much room, I bottom water. This one, I have plenty of water. I have plenty of room over here to water these. So it just depends on if they're difficult to water. If the water tends to pull up into the center of the pot, I definitely bottom water those, because you don't want to do that, or you will lose those leaves and then they turn brown, and yeah. I don't want to set up any type of fungal infections in my pots. And right now, since it's fall, I am pulling back on the fertilizer just a little bit. I was watering them with about 200 parts per million, 200 parts per million of MSU 3 times in a row, and then I would flush the pot with just regular water. And when I talk about flushing the pot, it's not that I run a lot of water through it. I just water with just regular water. I don't pour a lot of water in these at one time. These are in moss. So when I say I flush the pot, I just mean I'm using regular water. And then now, since it's fall and going into the winter months, what I do is I increase that back to about 180 parts per million. And I'll use that 2 times. And then I just use regular water the 3rd time that I water, because I don't believe that they need as much in the fall and the winter as they do in the spring and the summer. And right now I'm in my den, and I have this little halo light set up in my den. This is my isolation room right here. I bought 2 new Phalaenopsis orchids from Hauserman last week. Another Phalaenopsis. I love my Phalaenopsis pumpkin, and they had some of these little Bellinas for $17.50 on their website, and I thought, oh, I want another one. And then they had this one, and they said it was in spike, and they sent it to me with 2 spikes. And that one is Phal Young Home Sunkissed. So these I have back here in my den so that I can keep a good eye on them. I clean them when I bring them in my house. I don't put them around my other plants. These will be isolated for quite a while. Sometimes I isolate them for 3 months. I just like to make sure that there's nothing going on with the plant, no pests, no anything, before I get them in with my regular collection. So I wanted to show you all these when they're brand new, and they're gorgeous little plants. You little pretty girl. You little pretty girl. Yeah. And I want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks to my sponsor, the Orchid Supply Store, for supplying the pots, the moss, the bark. Many of the plants that I have come from the Orchid Supply Store. And don't forget, when you place your order from the Orchid Supply Store, to use my coupon code AMY for a 12% viewers discount, and you get free shipping inside the United States as well. And before I end the video, I'd love to share a beautiful Tennessee sunset with you all and say the blessing over you, your families, and your plants. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn His face towards you and give you peace. You all make it a great day, and we'll talk to you next time.